Hi, everybody. Hi to all Gunners fans around the world. Hi to all football lovers around the world. You are most welcome to another edition of the Arsenal Alchemy. And today we promise to bring you some exciting package. And today's segment is divided into two parts. The first part of it is, of course, we're going to analyze Arsenal. We're going to analyze the injuries and the possible lineup in the upcoming North London Derby. The second part will be a prediction of the whole 10 games happening this weekend from Saturday till Monday. You know, there's a game on Monday, and every single game promises to be very dynamic, promises to be very hard to predict, because everybody in the EPL is fighting for something. Everybody wants to have a solid standing in the EPL. Before we go to the first segment, I would like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe and of course like this video, and and if you want to share it, you share it. And we also urge people to engage us in the comment section. Now we move on to the first part of today's show, and we are going to talk about the injured players returning, those that picked up injury this international break, and those that are supposed to return after this international break. And let me start off by saying I thank God the international break is over. That thing kills me. I don't enjoy any of those games. I'm just going to be truthful with you. I don't enjoy any of those games. And the only game I would have enjoyed would have been the Nigeria versus DRC Congo, which Nigeria lost in a penalty shootout. And, you know, the less I talk about that game, the better. That game actually ruined my weekend. A lot of things ruined my weekend. That game was part of it. Gabriel Magalhaes picking up an injury was like a sword to my chest. That went through me. It was hard to take. It was hard to take. It ruined my weekend. It ruined the beginning of the week for me. My week is still being ruined as I make this video. So, this weekend, Gabriel Magalhaes, while representing Brazil at the Emirates, he picked up what seemed like a groin injury, but we got to know it's a muscle tear in the thigh. And, you know, the whole thing has been very sketchy. We don't know the actual diagnosis of his injury. We're hearing he'll be out for at least a month. At least between a month and 6 weeks. I didn't eat throughout yesterday. I was so worried, you know. And I asked myself, why is it that Arsenal always pick up this serious injuries? We don't see an injury like a week, 2 weeks, no more. What we see is 1 month, 2 months. 1 month is the least. We also heard Calafiori had some hip problem. He didn't represent his country, Italy, at all. What is going on? And Calafiori has been one of our standout players, our standout defenders this season. You know, playing that number 3 position, he has played it so well. He has played it so well that he's been benching Miles Lewis-Skelly. For him to pick up an injury, and he's a major doubt for this weekend, and that really hurts me as well. You know, Before this international break, we heard about 4 of the injured players were going to come back. We heard Martinelli was going to come back. We heard Madueke was going to come back. We heard even Kai Havertz was going to come back. Gabriel Jesus has started training. Odegaard is still injured. He's not ready. And then we heard Gyökeres as well. We heard Gyökeres was going to come back. We don't even know what is wrong with Gyökeres. He played the first half against Burnley. He scored a goal and he had a pre-assist for the second in the first half. Second half, we didn't see him no more. We managed to see out the game. We won the game. Up till now, we don't really know what is wrong with Gyökeres. We don't know if we heard it's some kind of muscle injury, but how long will he be out? We heard it was something minor, a couple of weeks. That game has been over 3 weeks. And he is a major doubt for this weekend game with Tottenham. So I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to play it. We have at least 6 to 7 players that are injured. Most of them are attackers. We are very, very thin in the attacking department. And in the Mikel Arteta's press conferences, he doesn't say much about them. I know some coaches use these tactics to deceive the opponent, make the opponent think, make the opponent not know your game plan. So let's hope some of them come back this weekend. I would particularly love to see Madueke. I would love to see Martinelli, and I would love to see Gyökeres. I would love to see these 3. I believe if these 3 can come in, we will win this game over the weekend. And in the defensive parts of our game is where I worry so much, because our game has been built mostly on defense. Now, Gabriel Magalhaes is injured, and it will leave the manager to tinker about the team. How will he combine it? Will he bring in Mosquera in to play the left side of defense? Or will he move Saliba to the left while Mosquera plays the right? Which I suspect is the most likely scenario. Or will he bring in Hincapié? Hincapié hasn't featured for us so much, so he might not want to take that gamble on Hincapié. But Hincapié is a natural left-sided defender. He can play on the left side of the central defense, and he can play on the 3 position on the left fullback. It will be interesting to see how it goes, and if Calafiori is fit. Calafiori has not done anything wrong while he played the central defense for us. If Calafiori is fit by this Sunday, I suspect he will play in that position of Magalhaes and bring in Miles Lewis-Skelly. We're still going to be solid. Then, of course, the midfield. Then, of course, the right back will be Timber. I don't think there's any doubt. I believe he's fit. He could recover. He could use this few days to recover till Sunday, because he played both games for Netherlands in this international break. And we are, our tongue is in our teeth. We are just living on the edge as per injuries to key players. Then the midfield is going to be, of course, Zubimendi and Declan Rice in the midfield. Of course, it's going to still maintain the double pivot of Declan Rice and Zubimendi. I understand they're both fit, and to me, to me, Declan Rice is just about our most important player because we don't have anybody filling up for that number 8 role, for that number 8 position. We have nobody playing there. So we move on to the wing, the right wing. Of course, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. He's going to be our captain for that day. And the number 11 position is going to be Leandro Trossard. He played both games for Belgium as well over the international break. And our 10 is going to be Eberechi Eze. Of course, we will not forget that he came in for England in the first game, I think against Kosovo, and he scored the second goal. Wonderful, wonderful coiling shot. Fantastic game. So he had a very good international break, and he is going to man that 10. And I must say, he hasn't really hit the height that we Arsenal fans hoped he will hit. Let's hope, let's hope there are good things to come. Because Eberechi Eze is one of those players that I had so much hope. I had so much hope for him. Even when we saw Odegaard was injured, we didn't worry too much because we had him. Let's hope he comes back, all guns blazing, and puts in a very, very fantastic, impressive display for us this weekend. Then, of course, the number 9 role will be none other than Mikel Merino, because I don't think Victor Gyökeres will be ready. And, Merino, I like Merino, but I don't like him as a starter 9. I like him to come in as a sub because he doesn't wear down defenders. He is a very, very decent goal scorer, don't get me wrong, but I would like a hard worker. Like the type of Kai Havertz or Victor Gyökeres to play the 9 for us, wear the central defenders down, bring in someone like a Mikel Merino, 15-20 minutes to the end, and let him put in a shift there. Personally, I think that is where he is most effective for us. So that is how I feel we're going to go into this game. That is how I feel we're going to line up against Tottenham. All fingers being crossed. Some of the injured players can come in. Like I said, I really, really hope Madueke can make it. I really hope Martinelli can make it. If things are not going our way in the second half, these are players we can bring into the game to, change the game with their pace and their skills. And for someone like Madueke with his intrigues, with his dribble, I think we can definitely win with these guys in the team. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think these players are going to come back? Do you think we have enough to win Tottenham? Do you think, and what do you think about that? What do you think about the scoreline of that game? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will discuss the EPL predictions on the other side of this segment. So you're welcome to the next segment of this program, and we're going to go straight to the weekend predictions. The first game is going to be between Burnley and Chelsea. That is going to be the early kickoff game, and everybody, if you know me very well, you will know I really detest Chelsea. I've always detested Chelsea with all my heart. I am sorry. If you're a Chelsea fan, I don't like Chelsea because of their fans. They are very toxic fans and they're trolling. And most of my predictions for Chelsea, I never ever predict Chelsea to win. And I'm not going to start today. So, now, this game between Burnley and Chelsea, Burnley, of course, have lost their last their last two games, actually, not three. And they will be very, very charged up for this game. They will want to put in a shift. Scott Parker, their coach, has been very good. He has been very decent. They were second in the championship last season, and they came with a very good defensive reputation, which makes me think that Burnley could limit Chelsea to 2 goals. And while they limit Chelsea to 2 goals, I have seen how dynamic they could be in attacking as well. They have, they have not been bad in attacking as well. And I think at home, in their place, they have 2 goals in them. So, which brings me to the prediction of a 2-2 draw in this game. Let me know what you know about. Let me know what you think about this game. Let me know if you agree or not. But I really, really, in my heart, feel Burnley can upset Chelsea. You can call me biased, but hey, it's what it is. The next game, the second game after the Burnley game for prediction is the game between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Now, this game is going to be in Anfield, and I think it's going to be a routine win for Liverpool. But I see this resurgent Nottingham Forest side, of course, being coached by the very tactical and defensive Sean Dyche. I think they have a goal in them. I think they can score Liverpool, but I think Liverpool will just outscore them. So my prediction for this game will be 3-1. Liverpool has been, they have been topsy-turvy in recent weeks. We're not going to forget how Manchester City dealt with them last match day 11. And, but I think they're going to come back. This is a perfect fixture for them to be able to come back against Nottingham Forest. So my prediction for this is 3-1. No problem at all for Liverpool. The next game is going to be between Bournemouth and West Ham. Now, this game is going to be between two teams that are having differing forms at the moment. Bournemouth, a couple of weeks ago, they were third. No, they were not third. They were actually second on the table. After they were second on the table, they had 2 straight EPL losses. They lost 2 games straight. They lost to Man City and they lost to Aston Villa. West Ham, meanwhile, although they started very wretchedly, they had a very, very wretched start. But they have been able to muster about 2 straight league wins. One of those wins was against Burnley. It was a very, very good game to watch. So it's 2 teams with very differing forms at the moment. But Bournemouth is a very, very dangerous team. They have dangerous players. They have Kluivert, they have Semenyo, they have some very, very nice tactical players. So because of that home advantage, I'm going to predict this game 2-1. I don't see West Ham coming to Bournemouth to win. Bournemouth is very, very good at home. And besides, the 2 games they lost were all away games. Were both away games. and the two games West Ham won were both home games. So I'm going to predict a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. The next game will be between Wolves and Crystal Palace. Now, Wolves have been dreadful, to say the least. In 11 games, they have 2 points. That is unacceptable. You know, they're not from the relegation zone. They're not from the championship, sorry. This is an established Premier League team. You know, I don't think they strengthened well over the weekend, over the transfer window. And they're going to play Crystal Palace. But Crystal Palace, in the last 3-4 games, they haven't won either. They haven't been so good. Even in a Conference League, they haven't been so good. Their last game, they drew it. They lost their last game in the Conference League. And I think Wolves will give them a big game. Most of their players were involved in the transfer, most of their big players, sorry, were involved were involved with their countries for this international break. So I think a lot of fatigue is going to set in. I don't think Crystal Palace has it to win Wolves here. So I'm going to go for a prediction of a 1-1 draw. It's not going to be the best of games, but I think, for prediction's sake, I think it's going to be a draw. I don't see Crystal Palace winning. And even as bad as Wolves have been, they can still muster up some surprise. So yes, this is going to be a 1-1 draw. And I'm tipping Strand Larsen to score 1 goal for Wolves. The next game is going to be between Brighton and Brentford. Now, Brentford and Brighton, look, these two teams, I call them spoilers. They are spoiler teams. On their day, they can beat anybody. We have seen Brighton beat Man City this season. We have seen Brentford beat Liverpool this season. So these two teams are hard to, they're hard to predict. So they are even hard to predict when they play each other. But I think, Brighton should edge Brentford in this game. I think Brighton has it in them because of the home advantage. I don't see anything but a Brighton win in this game. So I'm going to go for a prediction of 3-1 to Brighton. The next game is going to be between Fulham and Sunderland. Now, Fulham have, I think they've lost 4 in their last 5 games. They have gone down. I think they're 15th on the table. And now they're playing a high-flying Sunderland. We're not going to forget that Sunderland drew with Arsenal on game day 11. A very intriguing game, wonderful game. Action from beginning to end. But this Sunderland team is not very good away from home. I know they won Chelsea a few weeks ago away, but from their other results, you can see they are not so great away from home. So I'm going to go for a Fulham win, just for the fact that Fulham have a very good manager and Michael Silver, and I feel Fulham is going to bounce back. I don't think they are going to lose any more games, and I don't think they're going to lose to Sunderland. I think they can outfight Sunderland. I think the home advantage is going to play a very, very big role for Fulham. So my prediction for this game is 2-1 to Fulham. The next game is going to be, it's one of the games I'm looking forward to, and it's going to be between Newcastle and Manchester City. Now, this is a game, like I said earlier, I'm going to be very interested in, because obviously I want Manchester City to lose points. I want Manchester City to drop points so Arsenal can extend their lead, of course. So this game, last season, this game ended 1-1 draw. And but we know Man City is very resurgent this season, and with the form of Erling Haaland, they have been sometimes unplayable. We saw what they did to Liverpool on game day 11. So, but Newcastle have Voltamada. He is also in form. He is about 6'4", 6'5". This guy is a giant. He's big. He's good in the air. He's also quite decent with his feet. So, Newcastle against the big teams, they have shown that they are equal to the task. Of course, they lost to Barcelona in the Champions League, but they have won their remaining games in the Champions League so far. So I'm going to go for a prediction of Newcastle 2, Manchester City 2. And this is not a biased scoreline. I just feel it will be too much for Manchester City. I think Newcastle has so much and they can prove. I think they haven't been very good, especially away. But at home, they haven't been so bad either. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw. The next game is going to be between Leeds United and Aston Villa. Now, when Leeds United got promoted, they won the championship. They got promoted. One of my relegation predictions was that Leeds was going to go down, and they are living up to that prediction. They are currently, I think, 16th in the table. They have been so bad, especially in recent weeks. And they are going to play an Aston Villa that have very good experience in games like this. They have a very, very good manager in Unai Emery, and I believe they have enough firepower to win this game. And I'm going to go for, I don't see anything other than an Aston Villa away win here. I really don't see it, and I see Aston Villa winning this game by 1-2. 1-2 Aston Villa. The next game, which will be the game for the weekend, is going to be the game between our precious Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this is a North London derby. The two big teams in North London are going to clash. It's going to be a titanic clash. It's going to be, an exciting game. This game is never deprived of goals. There's always goals in this game. Last season, this fixture ended 2-1 Arsenal. And this season, yes, both teams are kind of injury ravaged. Both teams, actually. I'm not going to say just Arsenal. Tottenham is missing some players too. And but I don't see anything other than an Arsenal win. We're going to score one of the goals through a set piece, and the other goal will be a Mikel Merino special. So Arsenal is going to win this game by 2-0. It's going to be 2-0 Arsenal. The last game for this weekend, but it's going to be a Monday, is the game between Manchester United and Everton. Now, initially, when I was compiling my predictions, I thought I gave Everton a chance. I predicted a draw. But when I looked at over the years, the past results of these two sides, I noticed that Man United has always dominated Everton, no matter what form Manchester United in. And I changed my mind. And even without Benjamin Sesko, I believe Manchester United have it in them to win this game by 2-1. So my prediction for this game is 2-1 Manchester United. I don't think Everton has a chance in this game. 2-1 Manchester United. So that'll be all for the predictions. On Monday evening, I will be here to, we're going to discuss how we did for the predictions, and we're going to analyze the games. Hopefully, Arsenal wins this weekend. Hopefully, we shot the doubters. We shot the doubters' nerves. We shot the doubters' mindset about us bottling the league this season. Hopefully, we come out on top. Hopefully, we give a good account of ourselves. Hopefully, we win this game. I don't think I'm actually not very bothered about this game. I'm actually more bothered about the game we're going to play next weekend, which is against Chelsea. That is the one that is giving me headache at the moment. Hopefully, one or two of these injured players could come back before then. Then we can have so much options. And that'll be the end of today's podcast on the Arsenal Alchemy. Like I say, do like this video, and do please, and most importantly, subscribe to this video. And that will be all for now. Until next time, it's goodbye.